She's coming. She beats me. I'm not speaking in the context of a competition in which she defeats me. I mean, she physically beats me. And I do realize that by exposing my vulnerable mode, I am breaking a few of the most sacred archaic man codes that have been etched in encrypted hieroglyphs on the walls of man caves ever since the genesis of don't be no punkdom. But silence is a tool that the abuser uses to conceal her domestic violence. So in audacious defiance, I am exercising my right not to remain silent. I will no longer hide behind machismo, mumbo jumbo, nor will I fabricate more alibis about why my eye is bruised, and my lip is split again, and my self-esteem has been decimated, and why I've alienated my friends. A man should not know which foundation best matches the tone of his skin, because it is easier to cover up the scratches than it is to come up with another excuse as to why his face is scratched up again. Now watch the same hypocritical creed into a constantly concocting reasons to cut a man's sack. Try to tell me that a real man don't hit women, but then turn right around and ridicule me to her friends for not having the balls to strike her back. Now that bull job might fly if I didn't recollect what my sensei, what my daddy used to say during our father-son conclaves when he gave me the jewels from a man's point of view. He said, son, a lady is a lady, a woe is a woe. Ain't talking to the ladies when I'm talking about these woes. If a lady gets offended when you talk about them woes, that means you hit a nerve, son. Kick her to the curb, son. I know, right? Pops used to flow. But then my other sensei, my mama would say, son, ladies are meant to be queens, but that doesn't mean that girls are meant to be mean. Do you hear me? Yes, ma'am, I do. I love and honor her, too, I'd say. I ain't ashamed to say I'm a gentleman and a mama's baby. That's why I'm summa cum laude on how to treat a lady. And then one of the eldest of the exhorters, common decency showed me that testosterone and testes do not make he better than she, nor do hormones or a particular time of the month give she the right to put her hands on me. Kindness is mistaken for weakness until meekness gives way to, I am no longer putting up with this crap, and then some sleeping abusive bastard ends up on the wrong end of an episode of Snapton. But you don't have to hit her back, you can just walk away. Is the next tidbit of easier said than done that some folk like to spew from their skewed point of view. Well, I did walk away. And I was backing out of my driveway when that tempest stormed my car and busted me upside my head with the same brick that she had just used to bust out my car windows with. At that moment, I had to utilize all of the home training and what was left of the restraint in my don't hit a chick reserve to purge the urge to literally beat the crap out of that scourge until she defecated all over the broken glass that littered the curb. But my fear of God, my love for freedom, and my mama's proverbs were the only things that overrode my impulse to thrash her ass. So I just drove away and rushed to the emergency room to tend to my gushing wounds. There was crimson everywhere. That night I got 30 stitches, a concussion, 3 busted windows, and a half-hearted apology on my voicemail saying, you know how I get sometime, baby. Now before y'all get to wagging your judgmental phalanges at me, yes, I have left her alone before, and no, I should not have taken her back again. And again, and yes, I have filed a restraining order against her, which is about as useless as a eunuch in a jerk-off contest, because when the condescending coppers are called, they cuff me when they come. Oh, they assume that a man must be the culprit causing the commotion, because that pretty woman right there, oh, she could not be the one, they'd say. Sir, give me one good reason why I should not confiscate your man card and demand a refund on your nutsack. I would love for that pretty little thing to put her hands on me, if you know what I mean. One of the chauvinistic pigs, pun intended, had the audacity to say to me, it is so insulting when your assault isn't taken seriously because your assailant is an attractive female. And to add effed upness to the insult and injustice, I ended up going to jail that night because she had bruises on her wrist from when I grabbed her to keep her from stabbing me with the butcher's knife that she pulled on me when I wouldn't, quote, shut my mouth about those calls and text messages, end quote. She had the gall to refuse to leave my house and be more mad at me for finding out that she was cheating on me than I was for getting cheated on. Why are you answering my mother freaking phone anyway? Because you were in the restroom when your phone rang. And the caller ID said, Daddy, and I assumed it was your father, not the dude you were screwing. You got to go. She said, no, I said it's over, she said no. Baby, I'm sorry, I said so. She said if I'm leaving, then we both gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am all but certain that nobody but the author of my destiny saw this predicament coming. This life lesson has told me that empathy goes deeper than sympathy, so it was imperative that I walk a mile or two in the shoes of a battered and bruised woman, so that I can let them know that I know what it's like to not take another step and walk away.